And we're going to take another short break. Probably only like 1 or 2 minutes, so if you guys want to get a drink, maybe a quick snack, and then we'll go into the next game. Okay, our next map is going to be Destination. The players will be me versus IWAY, and yeah, it's going to be a bit weird, per usual, but I don't think there's anyone else really to cast my games. So Nia Zerg was obsing for a bit, but it was lagging a little bit and she left. So anyway, at the top 12 o'clock position of Destination is me, and down at the 6 is IWAY. So let's put the players in colors. Lovely peach color, which OBS has no real substitute for. We'll just make it white. Let's leave it in this Minsk. Update that score. Okay. Or is this more of a brown color? Nah, it's orange enough. Okay. So the map, Destination. I'm doing the, if you put a depot here, and then a barracks here, and then a depot here, you can do a full wall. and that'll be Ling tight. It's everything tight, in fact. IWAY trolling a bit. Sero, of course, infamous for his Zerg 5 pools. And yeah, so IWAY here, he's going for the, I don't know why he's sending all 3, but he's going for the 12 hatch on destination, which is a bit weird because it's a 2-player map, and generally speaking, your opponent will scout you fairly early, and you won't be able to get that 12 hatch down. I think most people would probably send their SCV out on 9, or excuse me, right after they finish the supply depot. And I'm trying to trick my SCV out right now, but he doesn't want to do it. So instead I have to trick this one off the depot and onto the barracks. And it was lagging a bit, so I was joking. Joking around. So IWAY, he gets his gas now, he's going for like a 2-hatch build, looks like. As that gas is before his 3rd hatchery, although he has enough money, he might just throw on another hatchery. I don't really remember what he did exactly. So I'm just looking to do a 1-rack expand, get my expansion up, and then I'm going to move into a, because it's destination and you've got these lovely double bridges that aren't so lovely, you've got to be really worried about lurker contains. They're really going to be very difficult to break for a Terran player. So the only way to really break them early is with the siege tanks. So what I'm going to try and do is like a 3 racks into factory starport, and then add a couple more racks after that, just to get the early tanks and try and break any sort of lurker contain that he tries to get up. Looks like he is doing a 2-hatch build, as his lair is now starting. No Zergling speed on the way just yet. I think he might only have 100 gas just now. So get in the bunker just to be safe, and there's a quick 2nd barracks because it is a 2-hatch. I do decide to go for a quick 2nd barracks so I can get some Marines up and maybe do a bit of pressure before his tech finishes. And I think that's my SCV getting attacked. So I'm trying to keep this guy alive so that I can see the tech. And one thing that's really good is, like, yeah, my SCV just died, and that sucks. But one thing that's really good to do is to send an SCV out while your SCV is still alive but about to die in your opponent's main on TVZ, and send a 2nd SCV out. Make sure he doesn't run by any overlords so your opponent doesn't know that you got an SCV out on the map. And hopefully you can get in for a good scout, especially if the Zerg player doesn't build an early sunken. You can just get into his base, and at the very least sometimes you can see the natural, so you know, okay, I don't have to scan the natural, all I have to scan is the main for the tech. And it looks like IWAY timing his hydro stem quite well there. I think that was right, near enough where the layer just finished. It looks like I'm sending a scout, SCV scout out pretty blatantly. Really, IWAY should have had his lings at my front to detect this. But he's got his lings here to stop any SCVs from getting into his natural where his tech is. Looks like he's throwing down another hatchery now. No circling speed. So yeah, I got my academy, getting my stim, getting my engineering bay because I still don't know that this is lurkers. I suspect that it's probably going to be lurkers, but right now I'm playing it as if it is mutalisks. My 2 medics finishing, so now this is my timing right here with the 2 medics finished and my Marines. Stim's about to be done. I don't have as many Marines as I could have. I really should have, I think, 2 more, but I messed up my macro a bit. So now I'm going to be looking to maybe do a bit of a bust at the front, but destination, these bridges are very narrow, and I think I'd have a hard time busting down the sunken even with my 2 medics. So now we got ComSat coming up. I like to get my ComSats right as my army is moving out, basically, so that by the time I get to his natural, I can scan to see his defenses / his tech. I'll spend 1 scan to get to see his tech, and if I don't see his tech, then I might worry about where the 3rd hatch is if I know where he placed it, and try and look for the tech there. It looks like I'm trying to move in now and do the sunken bust. I don't think this works. Yeah, the double bridges, some units get stuck over here, the sunken's all finishing. This is nice timing by IWAY. He does a pretty good job. I don't think he needed 4 sunkens, but it is what it is. And I scan the lurker den now, So I'm pretty sure I did. So I should be throwing down my factory way before this. Actually, you can see my money. I messed up my build a bit, as I really should have a factory already. So yeah, I'm building a turret on my front and getting another bunker. This is all anti-lurker defense. And one thing that, I mean, this force is very weak at the moment, as I am coming up to reinforce it a bit now. But a good thing to do against a Zerg player who's going lurkers is to try and keep him in his base as much as you can. Keep a nice force outside of his natural, and just make him burrow and unburrow, spend all that APM, and that way you also, by and large, know where the lurkers are. You do have to be worried about lurkers sneaking by into your natural, like these lings are, and looks like they might take down this turret, I think, as I'm just garrisoning in my bunker. My SCV saturation is pretty terrible at my natural. Need to work on building the SCVs. So now here comes my factory. I think I might even end up building like 2 just because I have extra money, and I failed. Now what IWAY here, he's probably going to look not to take this base, even though he does have an overlord here, but there's a nice base right over here that he'll probably want to try and take as his third. I don't remember what he does exactly, but it's got this nice narrow bridge that you can set up some lurkers. It's not quite as good as like a high ground, you know, main in the middle of the map. And see, I managed to take out a lurker here for only 2 Marines. It's very, very good. This is the intention of having all my forces up here, and it's very hard to spot burrow lurkers. This also makes the destination even better for lurkers. When you burrow on here, you scan it, and then you're still not aware that there's lurkers there. They blend in so well. I'm reinforcing a bit, and IWAY just very slowly, patiently edging forward. This is a very nice play by him. So my factory is finally done. My starport started now. Getting a siege tank. So yeah, and this is going somewhat poorly for me because my macro is so terrible, and I'm worried now that I might end up getting contained by lurkers outside of my double bridge. But as of yet, I'm still managing to hold him back a bit. He's got a huge number of lurkers though, and my tanks are quite late, so I haven't started siege mode yet either. This is +1, almost done. Does he have an evolution chamber? One good thing you can do is, of course, to get Carefus upgrade as a Zerg player. And another key moment here is if when the +1 armor finishes for the Terran, because then they have 40 HP, Marines do, and lurkers deal, well, when they're burrowed, they deal 20 damage. So if you can get an armor upgrade, it will now take the lurker 3 shots to kill your Marines, assuming they're not stemmed. And this is the part where he lags, and like he's like dropping, and then I get distracted, and then he burrows, and I just fudged everything up. No Johns, but seriously, it did lag a bit. That's why he said sorry. But it's okay. It all ends up turning out all right for me for the time being. And it's part of playing Brood War, man. You're gonna have the lag. Looks like I'm trying to add a couple more factories because my money was so high. They're really way too late. And now I'm getting my science vessels. I want to move my command center over here. Take that base. Got my armory. So yeah, I'm still looking to build quite a few siege tanks, and I want to keep control of this ground out here outside of my natural, but it looks like he is gonna come and just, I don't even know what that sound effect was, but all my stuff explodes, and I'm obviously not happy because my whole game plan was to try and keep control of this ground, and then I didn't have enough APM, wasn't paying close enough attention, and he did a good job surrounding my Marines with his forces. So IWAY takes a critical victory there. Now he's got control of my natural, and his Defiler round is complete too. I don't think Consume has yet started. Does he have a Spire? I don't remember if he has a Spire yet. But I am managing to do a decent amount of damage on his lurkers with my science vessel, so he really needs some Scourge. Look, he is starting a Spire now. So yeah, adding on a second factory because I want even more siege tanks. I'm thinking to myself, and I don't know if this is good or not, like if this is a good strategy to do on Destination, but given that it is a 2-player map, and you really don't have like, you know, another main or anything like that to do like a mech switch on, and so I'm thinking I'll stay like sort of a biomech build and build a lot of tanks and keep building Marines. It's sort of my game plan right now. Although I think I did lift my engineering bay. Yeah, because I'm worried about him running lurkers behind my mineral line. And the science vessel is still very far forward. He's got to be very concerned about Scourge, as I think the spire is near done. And there's the swarms. This is not what you want to have happen. Look how close he's going to be able to... he is to my natural to start swarming. There comes a swarm. And this is turning terribly for me. It's taking a terrible turn. But I do have my science vessels out. And I do get a irradiates on the defiler. Trying to pull my tanks back with this double bridge is very difficult. Very difficult for the units to find their way across it. Now we got a swarm near my natural. We got another defiler ready to come up and swarm as well. Boom, headshot. So this is very, very scary for me. I'm very frustrated at this point in the game. But I do manage to pick off that defiler. I was super happy that I got the defiler. So I sort of stalled his push for now. And my science vessels are building up enough energy for some more irradiates. So I need to be looking. This guy actually, he's a rally. I never ended up fixing my rallies. They're still rallied out here. So he's a fail boat. My money getting high again. I do land this command center though. And there's another swarm, but critically he lost all of his lurkers, except for this one. So my science vessel's poached very far forward. He has his spire done, but no Scourge yet. It'd be really nice if he could take down my science vessels with his Scourge. And I'm going to clean up this lurker before I can get back onto the swarm. And now he didn't expand behind this. He was pretty much all in with this attack. You can see he's only got 42 supply. So yeah, the macro just ends up coming through for me. And I was a bit confused because I thought that he would have been expanding behind this. So yeah, I was a bit confused as to why he GG'd, because I thought that he would have a stronger economy behind all this, but he was very focused on the attack. So GG, and we'll move into the next game very soon, as that does even up our score. And this is the first time that the fates have conspired to actually have it be 2-2, and then we go to the game deciding match. It's like there's been 3-2s before, but it always ends up that the first two games, like, you know, whatever team wins, and then the last two games are like nobody's mystery. You know, they don't even matter.